capital letters for their angles, the way we describe the sides that are opposite them is we use the lowercase angle. So lowercase a should be opposite angle A, lowercase b should be opposite angle B, and lowercase c is opposite angle C, and C.
And there's the rules. Just like if your angle's big, the side is small.
And that's true. In the triangle, the bigger angle, the biggest angle would be opposite the largest side. That makes sense because of how the triangle opens. Yeah, that's a triangle inequality. But the law of sine says the sine of angle A divided by side A, and I showed y, equals the sine of angle B divided by side B. Try to make a discrepancy here. I know it's hard to see with the C's, but make it a really big capital C. Okay. And by the way, since they're proportions, you could flip them around. If you prefer to do side divided by sine of angle, as long as you keep that consistent, that's fine too. Okay. So just to throw it out here, the cases where we're going to solve triangles with law of sines are, let's see if this is going to be a blast from the past, the angle side. That means you're given an angle, and a non-included side, and the angle side angle. Hopefully you remember those were also congruence theorems. What that means is, if I give you a triangle with those conditions, only one triangle could be drawn. So we're going to be able to solve that one triangle using law of sines. What I want to, kind of give you a little highlight of tomorrow is there is something called an ambiguous case. What's the word ambiguous mean? Well, first of all, let's think about some other words that start with ambidextrous. What would it mean to be ambidextrous? Okay, so you use both hands. If somebody's like ambiguous about something, they're kind of on the fence. They could go either way. And ambiguous actually means there are two triangles sometimes formed. And this is the side angle case, which is not a congruence theorem. And we always write it that way, not the other way. Come on. You guys made a joke about that in geometry. We always do.
I didn't even understand that.
Okay. But anyways, we're going to actually break down the case, and this is the part where there's a little case of side angle that does give one unique triangle. But then in the other case, we could form two triangles, and so then that becomes a problem. Because if I can form two triangles, how can I use law of sines to find both? So we're going to talk about how tomorrow, okay? You can. There is a way to do it, and we're going to actually get some stuff out and draw the triangle so you can kind of see why there's two different triangles that can be drawn. All right, so today though, I'm gonna also only talk about the angle side and the angle side angle case. There is something called law of cosines that is used to find side, and side angle side. Kind of sort of remember those? So you can't use law of sines to find those two cases. We won't talk about that today. Here we go. Is your calculator in degree mode? Then we're going to use law of sines to solve triangle ABC with angle A equal to 36 degrees, angle B equal to 48 degrees, and side A equal to 8. We will. So I always like, even if it's not a perfect picture, I like to draw a little picture to see what I'm looking at. So I'll just try to draw angles kind of the same. And I'll try to put the smaller angle A, B, C. A is 36 degrees. Where should I put 8 then? Okay. And angle B is 48 degrees. Okay. So, yes, you do. But let's at least name this kind. Is this a case of angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle? Angle, angle, side, because the angle is not included. Alright. So, Aiden would like to find angle C first. By the way, if it says solve the triangle, that means find all of the angles and sides. Alright, so he said angle C is what?
180 minus 38.
Which is? Alrighty. Now, yes, let's use the ratio of law of sine to solve the other pieces. You have to use A because that's the one where I'm given the angle on opposite side. So we're going to take the sine of 36 divided by 8. What would you like to find first? B? Okay, so then I take the sine of angle B, which is sine of 48, divided by lowercase b, that's what I'm trying to find. And then I cross multiply and solve. So b times sine of 36 equals 8 times sine of 48. I sure can. B times sine of 36 equals 8 times sine of 48. What am I going to do to solve for B? Hello, how are we doing? I'm waiting.
We're doing 10 point and 114.
Alrighty. 10 point, what was it?
114.
Thank you. So now I'm going to do it again to find side C. So we have found side B, we've found angle C. Now I'm going to go back to the original. Sine of 36 degrees over 8 equals sine of angle C, which we found to be 96 over C. Same deal. Would you solve for C?
It's the biggest angle, so it has the biggest side.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I do not believe it's 15 point whatever.
Oh, yeah, no, I put 8 plus 7 times, so that's probably, yeah. 13, you're right.
That sounds better.
I put 8.
What is it?
13.53.
Alright.
Kindergarten math.
Hopefully this is coming back to some of you. Alright, then we should talk about how you find a missing angle first. The setup's the same, but you have to use an inverse function. So let's do a case. We will do a case of side-side angle, but we're going to do a case where the situation gives us one triangle. And here's, I'm going to just tell you, we're not going to do the other today. This is a congruence theorem, big side, little side angle. If the big side is opposite the angle you're given, this does form one triangle. I'm going to tell you that. And you can use law of sines to find it. And let me give you one then where you would find an angle like that. in this case, this is an ambiguous case if the side that you're given is opposite the angle and it is not longer than the other side. But I gave you a side, and an angle. Do you see how the longest side that I give you is opposite the angle that I give you? Okay, then that means there is one unique triangle. But we should just talk about, in this case, how you find an angle. So if I start to set this up, and I go sine of 40 over 10, I have only one choice, because what's the other piece that I have? Little c. So I have to find angle C first. So, but we just need to talk about how you find an angle, because on the other ones we were finding them the same side. This is angle C, so it's a big C. So I start the process of cross multiplying, and I do 8 times sine of 40 equals 10 times sine of C. And I divide by 10. Okay. But this is what the sine of C is. There is a function that, if you are given the sine of the function, will output the angle. What function is that? What? It's the inverse or arc sine function. So at this point, let's see what we get. We get 8 times sine of 40 divided by 10. And so what this means is the sine of angle C is 0.514. Well, that's all great, but that doesn't tell me what angle C is. So I use the sine inverse function, since that function will take the sine and output what angle goes with it. And I get about 31 degrees. Okay. Could you finish then? We don't need to be redundant. Okay, could you finish the problem then? You could find angle A like we did before, subtracting from 180, and then do sine of A over little a and use either of those other two ratios to do that. Yes?
How come in the second, the little equation, it's sine of C over 10?
Oh, for Pete's sake. Wait.
No, you divided by 10 on each side to get the second.
Hold on. Oh, yeah, okay. So I did 10 times, I thought for a minute, because sometimes in first hour. Woo. All right, 10 times sine of C, 8 times sine of 40, so that's where I did there.
Okay.
And then this wasn't sine of C over 10, this was me dividing by 10 to solve the equation. This was where I did the over thing. Okay.